Please take one, sir.
Are you guys kind of preaching to the choir, though?
No, sir, we're not.
That's for abortion.
Well, but what do we do about it?
That's about all we can hold you.
Oh, no, it's not. I was at the murder mill yesterday morning in Milwaukee.
One thing you can't do with people that are for abortion, you can't call it murder.
Yeah, you can.
You know it's murder.
Yeah.
Once you tell a person that's for abortion it's murder, you turn them off. And that isn't.
It's the truth.
That's what God calls it.
Yeah.
That's what God calls it.
We can't lie and say it's not murder when it's murder.
Well, I agree with you. I was a volunteer for Wisconsin Right to Life. I know where you guys are from. I know statistics. I know facts. I know people who vote for, who not to vote for. We got to vote.
So why do you have a problem with it being called murder?
But it's more than that.
What's that?
Why do you have a problem with it being called murder then?
I don't have a problem with it. It's the people that are for abortion. When you say they're murdering people, which they are, I'm not disagreeing with you on any of this. But we have to, as Christians, approach this differently. Showing these pictures to little kids isn't going to help your cause. I'm sorry.
It actually
saves
does.
babies. A lot of babies are saved because we're out at the abortion mills offering
That's where you
help to
guys
the
should
women.
be. Yep.
We
I was there yesterday morning.
We need more of our brothers and sisters. That's why we're here, to call them to come.
Get one. Your neighbors are being murdered. They need your help. Children are being murdered in Milwaukee. They need your help. Don't neglect justice.
When I'm out at Planned Parenthood by myself and I have a man in my face, I'm asking where is my brothers and sisters from the church I attend and from the pastor who rejected the abortion mill ministry. He has plenty of opportunity to lead the flock in the right direction. But we have to because he's not. So that's all we're doing.
Yeah.
I've been at these murder mills for years, and 99% of the time, maybe except for a special event, there's like almost nobody out there. Sometimes there is nobody out there. Like the Planned Parenthood in Milwaukee, many times, usually, I come and the sidewalk is totally empty. I leave, the sidewalk's totally empty. So many times I've done that. And I've been out there by myself as well. I don't really have a problem with that per se. What I do have a problem is, because I'm used to it, why aren't there thousands of Christians out here? So many that this building shuts down. They can't even get in. There's so many Christians out here.
Like in Seattle, they did that in Planned Parenthood in Seattle. There was hundreds of Christians. It's happening all over our nation. We're just not seeing it at our abortion mills in Wisconsin for some reason. So that's where it's needed. So where it's needed, we have to go. We have to expose the evil, and we have to try to provoke people to action.
I would say 95% of Christians understand this evil.
Right.
There's some. I went to a Catholic church in Nino before we moved out here. The Catholic Church is really anti-abortion, but I got people in there that vote friends of mine that vote Democrat every time. And you bring that up to them, why do you vote Democrat? Well, we can't just vote on one issue. It's like abortion's the biggest issue.
And people know it in their head, but they don't know it in their heart. If their heart is not softened and convicted enough to actually care enough to go and try to save the baby and offer the help to the women, that's what we need to do, because babies are being saved when Christians do that.
Yeah.
And when we don't go out there, they get murdered and they're by themselves.
Yeah, with no one putting up a fight for it's a spiritual warfare, and if the kingdom of light is absent in that war, the kingdom of hell will not prevail.
Keep up the fight.
Well, I do. I mean, I feel more compelled to do what I'm doing and do it like all the time because where are the churches? I don't see churches doing this. Only a few.
Yeah.
And like when I you get one.
What's you folks up to?
We're here to exhort Christians to love their neighbor as themselves.
Hi, Tony.
Hey, how are you?
Hi, Deb.
Hi.
These are folks from Crossroads Church.
Crossroads?
Yeah.
Cool.
That's the pastor's wife.
Yeah.
Andy Ballant.
What's going on?
Yeah, so we go out to the abortion mills. We're abolitionists. We are trying to stop abortion.
Yeah.
And I presented a ministry here to the pastor, but he said that our literature is full of hate and anger, and he's not ready for that, and it lacks compassion for the women, and it couldn't be further from the truth. We actually offer help to the women. There's people that would adopt their babies. We would help financially in any way. We're calling out and pleading for the babies, but for whatever reason, he's making excuses and misrepresenting us. So we are here to call our brothers and sisters.
just take one.
Hi guys.
Hi.
Well,
So yeah, that's what we're doing. We need persons out there.
and we're simply coming to exhort Christians to love their neighbor as themselves. Because I was at the murder mill, the abortion mill in Milwaukee yesterday, and I didn't see anybody from this church out there. And we need to be out there to rescue those who are being taken away to death, as the Bible commands. And we need to be out in the streets showing the public what this country does to children. And we're not doing that. So that's why we come to churches, to exhort them to love their neighbor, love God and love their neighbor, not ignore justice and mercy, not to ignore the least of these, the most needy of orphans.
Right. Yeah, I 100% agree. But are you sure the way you guys are doing it is the best way to do it?
We believe it is.
Protesting it all?
We believe it is biblical to exhort the brethren to love and good deeds.
Right.
So that's what we're here to do, to exhort them to love and good deeds. Well, we've met with churches before, and the response is not good. I met with a pastor. Pastors don't usually care too much. I know because I've been doing this for over a decade. Usually the pastors, they're just a hindrance. And I've seen the pastor here, he doesn't seem like he cares too much about it.
Well, I'm sure, I know he does.
I didn't see it. Maybe he does, I just didn't say, I didn't see it. I saw that he hated what we were doing, and he has more compassion for the murderous mothers than the children they're murdering.
Yeah, he turned down the abortion mill ministry that I presented. So if he truly cared about these babies, he would gather the flock and call them out to the abortion mills and not make any excuses. This is
traffic getting out of here, buddy. Come on.
I know, right?
Come on.
Okay.
Move on.
But please stand with us.
Check that
There's
pamphlet
too
out.
many abortion mills that are abandoned today.
There's one in Milwaukee on Saturday, Affiliated Medical Services. Come and join us on Saturday mornings, about 8 o'clock in the morning. Well, what are you doing about it, sir? Come stand with us. Your agreement doesn't do anything.